Liquor Talk, a brand new episode starts right now. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Liquor Talk podcast. I'm your man Victor, and I done survived the storm. Ian tried to take us out, but we still here, baby. We still rocking, we still potting, we still pouring it up. We on that brown tonight, and tonight we welcome from the Wet Lounge podcasting out of DC. It's Miss Sierra Coco, the woman behind the Wet Lounge podcast. Welcome to Look and Talk, Sierra. How you doing tonight?
Hey friend, how you doing? I'm doing real good. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great. You already know we survived the storm and stuff, but we here. We're gonna address these Floridians because I got a deal. I got a bone to pick with them. But before I pick the bone with these people, let's get to know our guests podcasting with us today. Sierra Coca, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Wet Lounge podcast?
Okay, well, what up, friends? Like he said, you heard the man. I am Sierra Coco. I'm known as Cece in these streets. I am the host of the Wet Lounge podcast. A little about me and my podcast. It's just your two not so regular shorties from the South Bronx getting together every week to discuss our sexual endeavors. And we understand that, the reason why we chose to get into a sex podcast is honestly for the taboo stigma that comes behind that. You see a lot of people in our community saying things like, we don't need these many Black or brown podcasters to talk about this. But I feel like you can never have too many of us talking about the same thing. From what I've noticed, Black women, brown women, we are heavily shamed for our sexual behavior, regardless of modesty or provocative ways. And I just feel as though between hearing young women who are coming into themselves, entering their 30s, navigating love, sex, and relationships in a city such as New York and DC, it can bridge the gap between all of those uncomfortable truths or myths and misconceptions behind sex and hookup culture. So we're just here to promote sex positivity, body wellness, sexual hygiene, and of course, being yourself in a comfortable, laid back environment. So get into us and stream us everywhere. You feel me, guys?
Yes, that's real. That's real. All right, we're going to include some sex topics now that we not heard we got a sex podcast. Hey, you the first sex podcast I'd had on season 5 because season 4, I don't know if you were paying attention. I had hella sex positive people on Look and Talk. So
yes, following you. Yes, you did. Like I'm surprised to hear that I'm the first. Actually, I would have just assumed because you work with so many different types of podcasters. Oh, I would have assumed that you've already had one by now.
Now we still getting warmed up, because I decided to slow the pace down instead of, instead of release every week, release every 2 weeks, So I think that's what it is. So we're gonna have more sex positive podcasts coming soon. So what have you noticed about what's the feedback you've been getting from being a sex positive podcast? Because I've talked to some, it's like so many people they shun the idea or they're scared to talk about it.
Well, that is a thing. Some people, I feel like it always depends on the age demographic of the person that I'm talking to. Back home, if you've ever seen a meme that describes a New York man, that is a New York man. Like, take it for granted. Take it for face value, guys. That's exactly what you're gonna get. So with those people, they hear me being myself behind the mic. I'm in the studio, relax. I got my co-host with me, and I'm just chopping it up, telling them about the things I've been there and done that with. And then you got some people that they just assume that is my identity. Like, my identity is sex. So some people are actually surprised that I can hold actual conversations outside of what goes on in the podcasting world. Some people, I've actually had guests flake last minute that didn't want to come in. Like, they agreed to come in, they asked to come in, we had to struggle to get them in, and then the day of recording they're like, so I don't want to talk about my sex life. And it's like, well, you don't have to talk about your stories per se, but you do have opinions that you can't form without giving details to your private life, can't you? You can't do that. Like, no, like, not at all. And it's like, but why did you ask? What did you think I was going to do for you? I can't reroute my show because you're uncomfortable. You just can't be on it. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't be on it. So it's been funny. My parents don't listen to the show. I'm glad that they don't. But they don't even bring it up. They don't even ask me like, how's it going or nothing. Like they don't want to hear Nathaniel about it. So they don't want to hear anything. So I've gotten mixed reviews, but the best ones probably have to come from, women who they do interact, or men that interact, and they're like, yeah, like I do like these things. I'm not sure how to articulate that in my sex life or to the person that I'm having sex with. Like I've gotten a lot of self-asked questions to our anonymous line, and I'm noticing that it is a lot more Black men out there who are into what is considered taboo sex. But because of the negative stigma behind it, that's not something that they are boisterous about, like other things that they do sexually. And they're struggling with how to be comfortable in what they like while being secure in their manhood, so that way they can articulate that to other Black women. So there is a disconnect there. So I'm just glad as I keep going, I'm hoping people individually bridge their little gaps so that way they can have the best sex experience possible, because sex is universal and we only got but so much time. We can't spend it having bad sex, y'all. So that's what I'm here for.
Right. I'm here for all of it, and it's like so many. I can probably attest to why Black men don't like to talk about it, is because they feel like they're being judged because you got somebody on social media calling them gay or calling them this or looking at them funny if they say they like this. So that's the kind of bullshit we've had to put up with. And what I would tell men, what help men is they just stop giving a fuck about what people got to say, because people are gonna have opinions no matter what you do. So once you just get comfortable in your own skin, as long as it's with a woman, they can't call you gay, right?
Exactly. And that's one of the things that we try to teach. You'd be surprised. Oh my God, like some podcaster or whatever the case, like I never worked with them. I just so happened to comment on their post, but I was early because all of their things go viral, but I was early to the comment section. So they got on me, had the target on my head. And there was a woman that they were speaking with, and they said that she was explaining, like, I love Black men, but they don't want to experiment sexually. They don't do those things. And any experimentation that gets done, they want to be the giver. They're never receivers. So Black women don't get to live out their sexual fantasies. In that aspect, what's the point of exploration if everybody's not actively involved? And I agreed wholeheartedly, with her, because I have noticed that. I haven't been in too many relationships, just two, but with my first, that went on for about 4 to 5 years, and he was not an experimenting type at all. It was always me. Like I'm always like what I was calling the guinea pig of the situation. So when we finally did break up, it was very awkward. Having sex with other people, like it was like, oh wow, so I actually have to like go and talk to this person and articulate my wants and my needs and what I like. Interesting. And then I had to realize I didn't know what I liked. I knew what he gave me because we never did any real experimentation. And I was called all types of bed wenches and things of this nature. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, we really got to unpack what history has done to our people, because that's not the case. Like, like I understand, I always advocate for consensual everything. So anything that you're not into, hell no, don't do it. You feel me? Like if you're not into it, you're not comfortable, say no. And if you can, get out of there. But also, you can't call people bed wenches or call men gay because they get down differently than you get down. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever actually flipped through the Karma Sutra? Some of those positions look very, very funny, but that does not
Yes, they do.
that the positions that you feel are not masculine are considered gay as well. You just don't feel comfortable doing it. And that's something you have to work out amongst yourself, but you can't put that on other people because they're willing to do it. Like the Amazon position. So many guys, it's like, oh, you want to try the Amazon? And it's like, what's that? And then, you show them or you try to get them into the Amazon position and they're not with it. They'll do everything but fight you. They will do everything but fight you. It's like, moment ruined. I don't even want to do this anymore. Like you got real offended. Like, and it is just, it's a funny time. It's a funny time. I love what I do.
Yes, that's real. That's real. I know it's definitely a funny time, and I've seen some of the positions. I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, it is crazy now. It is crazy.
No, really, and it's just like the Amazon position. Like a lot of guys are like, so my legs are in the air, and it's like, yeah, they are. Did you see the same picture I just showed you? Because his legs were in the air. Your legs gotta go in the air. And then they're not forward anymore. Next thing you know, your legs are in the air. My legs are always in the air. Can we do something else? And then it's just like, oh man, like I don't know. But I just hope that one day maybe, more tolerance can be built up for people to be able to talk about the type of sex that they like to have without fear of being ridiculed or put on display for scrutiny for the sake of somebody's laugh or likes on social media. So,
Man, look, that day is coming because the way all these sex podcasts out here, that day is coming. That day is right around the corner. It's gonna be here before you know it. So.
yes, I'm hoping. I can only wait because it's about time. It's about time. It's so much sex out there. You got to get you some to know what you're missing.
Yes, yes, yes. Getting it in is hard though, but we'll talk about that later. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Hey, Sarah, what's your favorite kind of liquor to sip on?
Patron.
We got tequila drink in the house.
Patron, yes. I love Patron. I am a patty wagon girl, knick knack, patty wag, give a dog a bone, all that. If it's pat, I'm in it. So
You missed the last couple of episodes. I was on tequila, so yeah, you
okay.
missed that last couple of episodes. So,
I love
but
it.
as we about to hit minute 12. I gotta address these Floridians, these fake ass Floridians who come down here who want to bitch and cry about the damn storm. They wait till the last minute to buy up all the damn supplies. Then I got the people that they body don't even know what the hell water tastes like, but they buying all the good water, but leaving the nasty water. And then you got some people, that car don't know what the hell a full tank is, but they in the gas tank, they filling up their car to the maximum. Then they got the damn tanks and stuff. Why the hell y'all wait to all that shit the last minute? And I'm telling my people in Tampa because the storm veered off at the last minute, so I would say prayers up for all my people in Fort Myers, Sanibel, Sarasota, Orlando, Daytona Beach. Half of Daytona Beach is without power right now because of that damn storm. So, but all you fake ass Floridians out there, I'm like, if y'all don't buy some liquor and chill, y'all acting like it's the end of the world. And I'm like, I went in damn grocery store today. I'm like, God damn, you motherfuckers buying up all this shit. You know what? If you're a real Floridian, you be stocking year round for this shit. So if you ever come to Florida and y'all live here, stock up, Be glad you up in DC because you ain't gotta deal with this shit. All you gotta deal with is snow,
Everything else. Everything else. It be flooding over here. Some of that rain from Florida actually is up this way this weekend. It was raining crazy yesterday. It's raining today. It's raining now. It'll be raining tomorrow, and all
Yes.
that is traveling further up. And New York might get a little bit of that rain that's left over from our rain. That's left over from your rain. So
Yes, this damn hurricane. And another thing this hurricane showed me is that some employers, they just don't give a fuck about you. They only call you to make sure you can get on the system. They're not calling you to see, hey, are you all right? Or did you make it to your location safely? I'm like, God damn, because I had some of my homies tell me, oh, their job's calling them to make sure they got internet so they can get on the system. I'm like, who gives a fuck about that damn job? I ain't got no damn power.
exactly,
I'm
exactly.
like,
I
corporate America, I get y'all want us to get money, but come on now.
some of the schools were still open out there. I saw like there were little kids, evacuating.
Yes.
And I'm like, so you sent them to school? Interesting. Why were the schools open? Like, so nobody heard that the hurricane was coming. You saw other people preparing at the supermarket and thought that they were crazy. You didn't think you needed to. No, you just watched. I don't know. Because in the hood, black people gonna follow suit. If they see you stocking up, they gonna stock up, and they
Yeah,
gonna.
we're gonna stock up, but some black people we smart about. We're gonna stock up months in advance. We're gonna be stocked up.
Okay, canned ravioli, boxes of oodles and noodles, all that. extra Scott tissue. Yeah, we have Scott tissue, so we don't have to run out and buy tissue because
Yes.
when people ran out and bought up all the tissue, that was insane.
Yes, people will buy up all the tissue, buy up all the water. I'm like, Dasani got to be the nastiest water in the history of water. If ever we in a damn storm, and guess what? It's still there. The damn Dasani's still right there.
They
I'm
rather
like,
put it in their system. I don't blame them. Hell,
I don't blame 'em either. I don't drink Dasani. I haven't drunk Dasani in years. That's the nastiest water you can drink.
it literally tastes like they left a little bit of Dawn at the bottom of the bottle. I don't trust it. One day when I'm about 47, 50 years old, I'm going to be watching Law and Order like I usually do. And there's going to be a commercial, y'all. I promise. It's going to be a commercial. And it's going to say, have you or loved one suffered from, and in parentheses is going to be all of those things. It's going to be all of those things. And it's like, yep, I knew it. Dasani. And now I have a class action lawsuit on my hand because I drink a bottle.
Yes.
I'm in 3rd grade. That stuff is not good. That stuff is not good.
Hell no. I'm like, why do companies keep producing it? I'm like, y'all gonna take a damn loss, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna keep taking losses because nobody is keeping them in business.
No, they're not. Like, they're not. That's one thing that's always gonna be in stock. Dasani water. That and Aquafina.
Yes, both them waters. That's just both those waters are just so damn nasty.
Yeah, no.
If y'all drink them waters, you don't care about your life.
You don't drink enough water if you drink those waters.
Hell no. I'm like,
Why don't you taste that? It's like an ashy taste to it. Why don't you taste that?
yes, a damn ashy, nasty taste. No, it is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. We got the beautiful Sierra Coco on, ladies and gentlemen. I done had so many crazy conversations with you, All right, talking about your last podcast, loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Why is it hard for people to stay loyal? You know what I'm saying? Because it feels like people would rather be the side person than to be loyal.
You want to know what? I feel like it's because for them, they feel like it's lack of responsibility. And I say they feel like because when you're playing the side, assuming who the cheater in this situation is, being the side is a job in itself. You can't call at certain times, can't go to his house, can't do this, can't do that, can't go certain places because he might take her this week and you wanted to go and he can't go. So you're literally moving on allotted time. And that's only the time that he can give based on his or her significant other's availability. So that's a full-time job. You can't get what you want when you want it. You can only get it when they need it because you're on call. That's a seasonal job. That's why the side never lasts too long. So I feel like it's lack of responsibility and just maybe the thrill of it all. Like some people, they get off on the thrills. Like they're just like that. They don't care. They don't care. And some people have deluded themselves to believe it can't happen to them. So they agree because they feel as though at any given time when this goes bad, I can back out and I have no parts to play in this situation. So it's a messy one. I never condone, being the side anything in anybody's situation. I'm very selfish. I'm not even my child's second kid. That's my brother's job. So I have to be first in everything. I have to be because I am my parents' first child. No, I can't do second banana. So it's not going to work.
Yes, I'm glad you feel that way. I'm really happy that you feel that way because I know a lot of people and stuff that the job of being the side person, I'll be like, you don't love yourself. I'm like, because why waste your time being the side person for this person who don't even care about you, who probably not gonna get you no flowers on Valentine's Day, don't know when your birthday is, can't tell you what your favorite ice cream is, can't tell you what your favorite food is, don't know what to do to take care of you when you're sick. You gotta be selfish and get somebody that's about you. But yet some men and some women will curve the motherfuckers that are doing right, that want to be about them. Yeah, they'll put them in the friend zone or just leave their DMs on red. It's crazy.
There is that. Like I'm good for that. Like I'm I'm good for that. But I feel as though I don't know. I friend zone people when I feel like my time is going to be wasted, but I also feel like it's always in the approach. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a type. If you're black and you have a general background in education, like-minded goals, good personal hygiene, and a future heading somewhere, then if I'm interested, then we can always see where things go. Like I'm just rooting for all black men. You feel me? But aside from that, I don't have a type. So it's just like, it's just about, do I like you? And I don't always want to get to know people, because sometimes it's just like, I don't know, like it can be very draining. Like I'll look at my DMs and it's like, this is kind of draining. I haven't even opened anything yet, but also I don't want to. I'm just going to leave this here. I'm going to leave this here.
It's like, to a degree, I understand, but sometimes I just rather you just gonna waste your time so that way they ain't talking to themselves in your DMs. Just be like, look, I'm not interested. Call today. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, what it is.
I'll do that if I see that they're like a repetitive writer, because it's like you can never stop somebody for shooting their shot or for finding you attractive or whatever the case. You can't account for what another person might do on their side of the app. But if it's just like a one-time message and I decide I'm not going to answer, I just won't answer. But if like the answer is no, but the approach was nice, like I'll give some type of answer. It will still equate to no, but at least I answered you just out of respect that you approached me respectful, because you didn't have to, although you should. That should be a common formality. You didn't have to, so you did, and I appreciate the respect. So in turn, here's some respect back to you. So I'll do those things. And then other times it's just like, I can't deal with this today. I just can't, because it's like I said, people see me with the podcast and they just assume that, like, oh, she is the party girl. It's like, no, I'm the laid back black woman. That's what I am. I'm not high maintenance. So on social media, I'm here to play, but in real life, unless I know the people in the group in which I'm talking, you can't get these conversations out of me. I don't know you. I don't know you. So, I do have a different type of composure for myself when I am out and about, like when I'm just Sierra, not Sierra Coco. And aside from that, I'm a whole teacher. So it's just certain people, it's just like, you're not ideal. But I will also say I have wasted my time, because there are those guys where you tell anybody about that man and they just assume you found a really good one, but then you actually get him up close in person and there's nothing good about him. He just has a couple of good accolades, good hygiene, and he looks good, but he treats people terrible and he mismanages money and he can't hold a job and he has a problem with this and he doesn't clean and he can't cook and he's a mom's boy. So it's just like, you never know. It's really a game of love and war when you are out here, especially when you are DM hunting. The odds may ever be in your favor because you just never know.
Yeah, you know what? I feel you on that. And like you, I don't have a type either, but I want all my black women to win. More power to you for being a teacher, because Lord knows I ain't got the patience to be a teacher. And it's like, and I'm like you as well, kind of introverted when I'm not in person. I'm just Victor, going to wherever I need to go, and go wherever I need to go and just come home and go to work. And occasionally when I go to like networking events and stuff, I'll open up and stuff. So, like I already know, if you catch me in Philadelphia on the third weekend in October, I will definitely be open up then, because I'm being Afro's Audio. So I'm giving y'all a quick plug because yours truly is speaking there. So catch me Catch me in Philly third week in October, and you will catch me being a social butterfly. But you catch me in Florida, I might be social. It just depends on the situation. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. So go ahead and get your cup pulled up, because I sound a whole lot better when you have some liquor. And tell my people that don't drink, just put one in the air for 420, ladies and gentlemen. 420 friendly as well. If you don't do any of that, then I don't know what the hell to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to enjoy this. And also, shout out to the radio station 97.3 Sunshine Jams. You can catch this online as well, ladies and gentlemen. You catch this Liquor Talk Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on WXSJ 97.3 Sunshine Jams. Your boys live at the studio at the Independent Dream Factory right here in Orlando, the home of Liquor Talk. I had to get that promo out the way, you know what I'm saying? I had to show love, I got the beautiful Sierra Coco over here in DC. Also, she's an HBCU graduate, y'all. Y'all already know I'm like a FAMU, and she ran for Delaware State. So one time for Delaware State, you know what I'm saying? So
Hornets.
yes, one time for the DSU Hornets. It's like we don't hear from y'all no more. Like we don't play y'all no more in football. We don't play y'all no more in sports ever since we left for the SWAC. So
Yeah. DSU. It's I don't know. I don't know about them sports, man. I don't know about them sports. They used to be everywhere, especially when I first started my college experience back in 2014. I started out at Cheney, and when I was playing Cheney is a D2 school, but I would always hear about Del State, doing stuff or going to play people, and I'm like, oh, they're playing FAMU. I'm like, that's kind of far for Delaware. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm not sure how that works with. I'm like, but I guess somebody's coming to somebody's school to play, So I'm not really sure what goes on with the sports team. I did the smaller stuff, like the modeling teams that you see on campus. I did that.
So talk about your HBCU experience and how did that formulate and help you find your voice when it comes to radio and podcasting?
Well, let's see. I've always growing up in a place like New York, very diverse. So you can be in a room full of 100 melanated people, and only 3 of them will identify like you, because that's how diverse New York is. So, and then my dad is dark skinned, and back then, we know the ridicule that people got for being dark skinned, born in the 70s into the 90s, early 2000s. So my mom, she always raised me to say, like, you're going to a black college. I don't care who else takes you. You're going to go to a black school, So she always made sure that me and my brother had black pride and who we are, where we're going. So that way there will never be a time where somebody can spit our history back to us better than we can, nor can they try to wash the history that we know to be factual. And I appreciate her for that. So when I started my HBCU experience, I was ready. I was actually ready. I really felt like this is a different world. Like this is my opportunity to be somebody, to be me. You look around and this is the closest you'll ever be to finding a room where everybody in here is striving for the same thing as you and everybody looks like. So, you want to take it all in, and you do look to your left and you look to your right and you're like, don't know where I'm going to see people 10 years from now, but I know that this is what I'm built for. And I actually started out as a criminal justice major. That's what I started out as. But as time went on, and I started to become more of a voice and a active person on campus, I got a lot of, you should be on TV, you should do radio. And I had already, done a little radio. So it's like, you think so? And I was doing modeling, how they have the dance modeling teams at HBCUs. So shout out Limitless Models. And I joined their team. And I would host events. I would MC events and then run in between and doing it all and being tired and the hill pain, doing your classwork and then still trying to maintain a social life and then trying to have a little active love life and then having a little spice in your life with some little drama here and there. It was a lot. It was a lot to maintain, it was a lot, but it did show me like you can do this. But most importantly, you enjoy the busyness. You enjoy the stress of having the deadline of having to get dressed, be here, look good, and still perform and kill things. You enjoy that. So maybe you should, dabble in TV. So I switched my major to mass comm, and I said, that's it. I was someone's co-host when I was in Delaware, and I just knew from there, it don't stop here. I'm going back to New York. That's a huge city, and it's up from here. I used that, and I did do Wildin' Out. I was a Wildin' Out girl for a little bit before the pandemic for the live shows. So I just knew, like, between this, beating out all these girls to get 1 out of 10 spots for Wildin' Out, I know my face is supposed to be somewhere. It's going to be somewhere. So that's how I got into podcasting. I said I need an open market to talk the way I want to talk without censorship, podcasting. And so here I am.
That's real. That's real. I think all of us have that same podcast story because I heard the same thing when I was at FAMU. Like, you have a strong voice, how you should be in radio. So that's how I did the mass comm when I was at FAMU because originally I started off going to the School of Business and Industry, wanting to get my MBA, but then I just wasn't with wearing suits every day for forum, and also you had to wear a suit to take a damn test. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we're in fucking Florida. It is 90 degrees outside, and you want me in a damn suit. I
Yeah.
understand it's professionalism. I understand. I get it. But come on now. It's
Right.
Florida. It's hot as hell. It's hot as shit down here. And you want us in a goddamn suit. Come
Yeah.
on, Cammy. I know you want to prepare us to be business professional. I get it. I understand. But it's hot as shit. And then also I'll give props to FAMU journalism school because you got people there, black people there that were pushing you to be better. There were people that were getting on you like, hey, you know you can do this. They were motivating you to do right. So
Yeah.
HBCU experience is just whenever I'm blessed to have kids, I'm definitely telling their asses, y'all are going to HBCU. You can go to any HBCU except Bethune Cookman, but you're going to a HBCU
Right.
because our black kids, they need that. And it's just because I see it on social media how uneducated some people are, and I'm like, of course. And now you look at their bios and stuff, and I'm like, you went to this predominantly white school and stuff. So and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm hearing people trying to integrate and like you cannot get the HBCU experience at your predominantly white school. I don't give a damn if it's a black student union, a black this, a black that.
Right.
There's a reason it's a black this, a black that. Come
Right.
to an HBCU and you won't get that stigma. It's
Yes.
crazy.
Yes. And that is the thing. Like I always tell people, it's like PWI students, it's always funny, like talking to them about the hardships that an actual HBCU student faces, because it's like we're all students chasing the same degree, but these are in fact two different worlds. Your world and my world, they collide into each other, but they do not coexist. So this is a place for me to be me, so that way I can go out there into your world and be a better version of
Mhm.
me. I won't get the same attention or be catered to like this after this degree, because everywhere else will be so diverse and I will go back to being the minority. So it is always kind of like a slap in the face almost to the whole HBCU community when you see black figures or politicians or celebrities, millionaires, billionaires giving to schools, or they're choosing to utilize the black students of PWIs for their endeavors, rather than shining a light on the black
Thank
students
you.
who already founded these things that you're interested in, and predominantly black colleges, which is what's neat, because we all know how these things go. We've been doing it since the beginning, but they fall on deaf ears because we are not the masses. We are just the physical masses. But then when you see other schools doing it, they're not going to focus on the fact that it's black people doing it. They're going to focus on the name. So if you have NYU and you have a bunch of black students doing stomp and shake cheer, no, it takes away from the actual HBCU cheerleaders, because they have been doing this forever and it's been stigmatized and downgraded on social media and to other people and in big rooms so much since the beginning of HBCUs, that now that they see that it has a white institution attached to it, they will now get more recognition, which will give them more funding, which will give them more exposure. All of these things we could benefit from. Our students do make up at least 50 to 60% of the active workforce once they graduate.
Exactly. We
So,
do. And it's like, and then the one thing I do that does annoy me, it's like, it's always whenever celebrities do give back, it's always the same HBCUs getting all the money. It's the Howards, it's the Morehouses. Hey, FAMU exists, Delaware State exists. You got Bethune Cookman, you got Jackson State, there's a hell of HBCUs I can name that can use the funding. Good.
first HBCU in the nation, and they don't get anything. They got to beg. They have to almost lose accreditation to get funding just one time. And then it's like, okay, you'll probably get funding again in another 10 years. It's very hard. It is very hard. Even when I was going to Cheney, I was told by academic advisors, by professors, you and your parents should probably look elsewhere because we might lose our accreditation, which is how I ended up transferring to Dell State. Come to find out, they always say that. They always say that. Why is this always a possibility? Like, let's unpack this. It's one thing for them to always say it, but that means that the possibility is always presented to them. And why is that? none of this could exist without Cheney. So
Yeah.
preserve it.
You know what it is? The reason that they always saying that because this is where I'm gonna be honest with you. You gotta look at their leadership. You can't there. You gotta look at the Cheney's leadership. It's like because I'm having to check FAMU's leadership about some things as well. I'm like, it don't make no sense that some FAMU students are students in the state of Florida for almost billions of dollars of being underfunded. Like, why aren't the leadership of our HBCUs pressing the people of higher powers that can be to get us the funding to get the things we needed so we can keep the accreditations and stuff. So I look at the president, I look at the board of trustees, I'm looking at all of those high ranking people, and I'm also looking at the boosters as well. Like, what the hell are y'all doing? Y'all good for giving money back. No, it's time to put the work in, like to
Yeah,
get on these HBs, get on these government's asses to apply that pressure to make some things happen.
right. And that is literally what it is. And you just never know. It's like you just never know what they're gonna do. But it's just very wild. Seeing the disregard. That they don't care about us, but it's just always wild when big money is on the table and you don't even have to click it. You just know the same schools didn't get it and the same schools did. And that's never going to fix the problem. And no shade to those schools, because rooting for everybody black, but it would be nice if other black people and other black institutions could benefit from those same privileges. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and it's halfway that you'll be nice for them to benefit from those privileges, but it's also what are those HBCUs doing? Like, what are those HBCUs doing on their end to make sure they can get the benefits and stuff? It's like I want to point the finger, but also we got to hold our own institutions accountable. Like,
that
what
is
is your leadership doing? You know what I'm saying? Are you guys doing everything you can possibly be doing? Because you learn this at HBCU. Some people they'll just work for the title, but then once they get the title, they don't really do nothing. You can apply that to relationships as well.
right. Right. So it's just like you never know. It's always mismanagement of money or something like that, or some type of scandal. But it's like at some point, everybody has to come to an agreement to stop, like just stop, restart, and do things the right way. We need more alumni to donate. We can't tell celebrities what to do with their money, but I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I feel as though because it is an absolute fact that African American people are the number one consumer in this country. Like we spend the most money out of any other demographic group, and that is because we lack financial literacy. Now, with that being said, because it is our people that are constantly putting money into these people's hands to keep up their 1% nonsense that keeps their foot on our 99 percenters' necks, it should be some type of due diligence for our people in those high places to want to give back because you wouldn't be able to have anything to not give, if it wasn't for us. So you're being selfish off something that you wouldn't have gotten to this magnitude without the money of the average black man. So that's how I always look at it. Like the basketball players, the rappers, it's like, what are you doing? All of this, yes, is part your talent, but also if nobody supported you, none of it would matter. You could only
Hmm.
like certain. That's why certain rappers they can't as good as they are. They'll only ever be as good as they are because this is not going to cut it in white America. So the people that are making you rich, it's us. And to say you don't have to put money back in, no, you don't. But should you? Yeah.
Yes, you should. And ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna leave it at that because we could have this talk about what celebrities are doing, what leadership is doing. We could talk about this all day, ladies and gentlemen. But let's have some fun because we don't want to get mad. You know what I'm saying? Because it's disappointing. So let's crank it up, ladies and gentlemen. You've hit minute 39 of this podcast. So I tell you again, the more you drink, the better we sound. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and get you another round and if you at somebody's bar right now, please tip your bartenders because you tip better, the bartender's gonna take care of you. Because remember, this is liquor talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. And we got the beautiful Sierra Coco from the Wet Lounge podcast in the house tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, everywhere. I appreciate everybody for tapping in with season 5 of Liquor Talk. I don't care if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or you're watching them this on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts at. And also, shout out to everybody that's tapping in on the radio station as well. Shout out to everybody at 97.3 Sunshine Jams, ladies and gentlemen. We are tapped in, y'all. We got to talk about something. So, I saw this post where this woman was just going in on a list of things wrong with her man, all because the man called off the wedding and left her at the altar.
Oh.
So, my question is, why the hell do people feel like it's okay to tell social media all this person's red flags when you were gonna put up with that if the person hadn't called off the wedding? So I'm like, you had a long list, you put up with all that shit, but yet you stayed there until that person, and yet you stayed with them until that person called off the wedding. But now the person calls off the wedding, and now you want to air it out.
Right.
What do you think of that? Because I think you ain't getting no sympathy from me.
That's how I feel. Like, you like it, I love it. Shoot, because when you do stuff like that, to me, it just seems like you want people to dislike this person just as much as you now dislike this person. Because when everything was cool, and these things were still true. So what is the difference now? The only difference is the nature of your has changed. You just want somebody to get them with you. And I'm not doing that because 9 out of 10, I knew it. So I'm not going to say you absolutely, you played yourself with that one. And, now you're free. But don't ask people to hate somebody with you just because you hate them. We are way past that stage in our lives. Everybody is grown. People are not going to do that. They'll sympathize with you. They won't do that.
Yeah. It's like I'm at the age where, you know what? Look, I'm not even going to air this person out on social media. I'm not even going to air them out. We're done with each other. Whatever. Good riddance. I'm just going to tell myself we're going to move the fuck on with our lives because they're bigger fish to fry. And also, maybe that person just wasn't the one for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just, And also, I'm going to get selfish. I'm going to be focusing on me. Like, what the hell I did wrong, Because people will complain about people and complain. But I'm like, obviously they're complaining long enough. And if they're not fixing it, I'm like, why are you still there? And why are you bringing this up on social media? Like, because now I'm going to look at you instead of looking at that person.
Right. That's how I always look at it. Like my ex, that's probably, like, I've never actually disliked somebody as much as I dislike him. Like, he's weird. We broke up years ago, but he still talks about me on social media. And we have over 200 of the same mutual friends. So it's like, whenever, like, I catch up with somebody that I haven't spoken to, and since I've dated him, like, they bring it up, and it's like, you don't have to tell me that. I don't follow him, for a reason. We are not friends. So I don't keep up with him on social media because we're not friends. But also, that is a little audacious because why are you talking about me after all these? It's been 7 years, just about. It's been
7 years? Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. I guess he hadn't found nobody since you. Maybe you were the best woman for him.
No, I refuse to believe that because I don't want to believe that.
I mean, why do you refuse to believe that if he's sitting there still talking about you after 7 years? So,
because it's something lacking in him. And I feel like it don't have anything to do with me. Like, yeah, like I'm great and all, when I am. And I'm not great when I'm not great. Some days I'm annoying. Yeah. But also, I just feel as though it's something in you that allows you to somehow link back to me. Because I've actually been, but it's just like, I don't even get into relationships. I really got to find special. So it's just like, okay, but I've dated plenty. I have had friends. I don't talk. You still need to, and it's like, it's always because that's going to enter because they care. But he's going through for sake or for nosiness. I'm always going to. So it just won't stop. Like people always feel like all.
Hey, you're going in and out. I kind of missed your last point.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. But I was saying that I just feel like the reason why people run to social media is just because up there, it's always going to be at least one people who entertain whatever you're spitting out, no matter what it is, how true or far fetched, how that's social media etiquette. And I just like that I heard. I don't, and I don't know, but I had to. Don't my number. Don't even hit up my family last year to them on like stop doing that, So now I can't let him down. Even if I go to family functions, it's like, where's the weird guy? And I'm like, the weird guy that hasn't been around in 7 years, don't do like that, guys.
See, it's because that reason I really don't tell my family about whoever I'm with, So I really don't tell them that unless I feel like this person might be special, I really don't talk about that. The only person I will tell most of my exes about and what woman that did me wrong is my little sister. That's probably the only person I will tell that to. Hell, I ain't tell my mom about a lot of these women, So it's for that reason, because they will be asking about that person, like, hey, how's so-and-so doing? I'm like, why the hell you asking me about this person?
And none of them liked him, like that was the thing. Like he was my first boyfriend. He was my first everything at the time. Like my mom didn't let me date in high school. So his own little red flags, I didn't notice them because I had never actually had a chance to notice anybody's red flags. So I didn't notice his. I was young. I was 18, fresh out of high school when I met him. So, all those things when I know. And I still tell my mom, like, you got some nerve. Like, you followed me into control of my hair. Like, I'm like, you saw me dating a bum and you didn't say anything. I'm like, you didn't put your foot down to that though, huh? So she's like, oh no. She was like, it's time for you to make your decisions. You chose right there to put me back in charge of my own life. That's audacious, don't you think so? Because for years my family is like, get rid of him. I'm like, why? They're like, get rid of him. You'll see. I'm like, you're not even giving a good reason. At least if I had a reason, I could entertain the thought. Like, why get rid of him? I'm like, okay. Okay. But lo and behold, was it you there? Was it you there? And like, hilarious because I tried, but always tell women like he's told women most doesn't know. And tell them like having girlfriends has to be done in secret, and they're just like not with that. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't even cheat properly. It's like, wow, I've embarrassed times too. Like you tried to and it didn't work. Yep, I'm out of here.
Yeah, you shouldn't try to cheat, especially when you got all the same friends and stuff. Or if you cheat in another city and don't post the motherfucker.
Yeah, really though, really, like I didn't understand. But like looking back, I laugh at the relationship now, but I just hate that he's on social media just talking about me because it's like, what's wrong? People see that, and like there's people that don't want to deal with me off the things that you say. Like, stop trying to.
Yeah, I guess some men don't know how to heal. I'm like, I don't even talk about none of my exes from my college exes. I'm like, they don't exist to me. Like, I'm at a point right now. If I ran into them, I'll speak and be cordial, but I'm not about to sit here and do a podcast on them. No,
right.
like, I got people that hurt me recently. No, we got bigger fish to fry out here, And that brother really needs to go seek a therapist or something,
That's literally why I left him, because it's like you got too much problems. You have a lot of baggage for someone who's young, and this is how you act. So I'm just gonna leave while I still have my youth. And yeah, I'm gonna leave. And so I did, and I'm glad I did because child, that was the worst thing in my life.
That's real. That's real. That's real. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. I hope y'all nice and tipsy. Just don't get on the road and drive because, hey, I ain't paying for your ticket if you get DUI, ladies and gentlemen. So, anyway, why do people body shame others? It's like so many people be on social media like I won't date so many women. I'll start with women because some women they'll be like, oh, I don't want this type of man. I don't date this big man. I don't want this size man. But yeah, if that same man comes back and says something like, oh, I want my women to be this, I want my woman to be that. He's everything but the child of Christ. Is men ain't shit, men ain't this. So why is it okay for some people to body shame others, but others, them same people, they can't handle being body shamed?
Mm-mm. You know what? I still don't know. Like a lot of times, it's just like, why are you acting like that? Like, it can't bother you that bad that somebody looks the way that they do. It just,
Right.
oh, and I feel like what it is, some people just can't help but to be like that. Like, you don't have a reason. And a lot of times, that's literally what most of social media is when you see the negativity. You don't even have a reason. You're just doing it because you have a couple characters to spare for this tweet or for this Facebook post, you know? And I've always found that I always say hypocrisy is one hell of a drug that I will not sniff with the rest of y'all because I can't do it, you know, because people do that. They do body shame and like, you know, women do have a tendency to be vocal about the things that they don't want physically in a man, but also if a man was to come right back into response to them and say, I don't want and list everything that he does not find attractive in women, they feel personally attacked or they feel like that's not of manly behavior. And it's like, but it's preference, is it not? You prefer your type. Now he's coming back and his response is his type. So why can't you just move forward now? But now you're stuck on what he said because you feel as though it's stupid, right? So just like your statement was stupid. So I feel like it's a way for people to say what they want. I mean, preference is one thing, but you don't have to put someone down in order to like what you like. Sometimes you do have to date different types of people. You won't know what you like and you don't try it. So that's how I've always felt about the situation. Like people are surprised, like, oh, you date short guys. And it's like, well, I mean, I am short. So imagine that, right? That I would date short guys if I like a short guy in this situation. I'm short. So imagine me telling him I don't like him because he's short. Now imagine if he told me he ain't like me because I'm short. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing he can do about that. So it's just to shame people about certain stuff is it's wild. It's wild. It is
Yes.
it is pointless. It's very pointless.
Yes, the reason I say it's pointless because what you may need may come in the form that you were over here shaming, which
Yep.
is why I'm like you. I'm like I don't got a type as long as she a black woman, as long as she got some black in her. I'm good with her, you know what I'm saying? Which is why I don't sit here and bite shame because you never know. The one you might not like might be the woman you wind up marrying, might give you everything you need, everything you're looking for. They might fulfill your needs and stuff, but yet some people won't look at them because they're a certain body type. People, it is 2022. Shit, it's about to be 2023 while you bullshitting. You need to wake the fuck up and open up your thinking.
Right. And literally open up your thinking. Like sometimes that is why people, you know, find themselves in the same old situations because it's like, girl, like you ain't trying nothing different. That guy looks like the last guy, and that guy looked like the last guy, and they all act the same. And if you put them all on a fine line, they all meet at one point, the focal, because they're all the same. Like try to date somebody different, you know, not somebody you don't like, not someone you're not attractive to, but somebody different. I know women where it's like I would date him, but what? He's short. But what? He can't dress. But what? This, that, and the third. It's like all those things. It's like you can work past certain things. You can teach a person fashionable style. You know, a person can't help being short, but it's like if that's the only thing stopping you, that's crazy. Now that
Yes, that is crazy.
like
Whether it's short, tall, big, whatever. If it's something about their body, I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy. Now, if they just can't make time for you, that part I understand. There's some things I can kind of work with you on. It's like it's some things you can work with them on, but when it comes to body shaming, you don't know because you might look at this person today, they're this size, but you never know if they're dedicated. They put a good 6 7 months in, you never know. They're gonna look totally different. So, which is why you don't judge a person by their weight, and also you don't judge a person by them how much money they got in their bank account either, because they might be at their booming job today, but you never know. Shit happens.
Things happen. You never know. Never know. That's why if you're gonna play your cards, you gotta play your cards. And once you throw them down, you can't pick them back up. You gotta roll with the punches till the game over.
Yes. Yes, exactly. It's exactly. All right, let's go ahead and go up your alley. You know what I'm saying? I know we hadn't talked about much sex, but let's go ahead and go up your alley. Fuck it. Why not? So what's something that men do sexually that just bothers you, that you just want to scream like, men, stop doing this? Like, y'all do this, but it does nothing for us, or it's just turning you off. What is something that we do?
You know what? And again, I feel like what I'm gonna say is selective, one, and two, because of my age and level of experience. So go ahead. That tongue in the ear shit, stop that. Stop that. That's not nice. That's not nice. What if somebody spit on their finger and then shove that shit in your ear? Because that's what it feels like. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. That's nasty. That's nasty. Did you know sometimes you leave so much spit in the air that it actually starts to travel and connect to that part that connects your nose and your throat? That's nasty. Stop doing that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Stop doing that. There's nothing cool about eating out somebody's ear. I don't like that. I really have to let that out.
No, I understand. You know, believe it or not, the last time somebody did that to me was like over 10 or 11 years ago.
Yeah, like I don't like that. Like don't like.
I've only had one person do that to me, so I've never even done that to somebody.
Yeah, like and it's just I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard because I was just having this conversation. Actually, this was a couple of months ago, and we were talking with Uncle Dolomite and Timo and all of those guys from the It's All Love podcast. We were on live with them, and they said, "Do you believe that men have a harder time getting sex than women?" And I said, "No," and I said, "No." And they said, "You don't think so?" And I said, "No." I said, "But that could be from what I experienced." I was like, "That's just me." Like, every time I look up, a man has a new body, whether he's claiming her or not. He has a new body. Somebody's choosing to sleep with these men. Otherwise, there'd be no new body. I'm like, so that's how I'm looking at it, you know. But as time went on, I do get it now, because the thing that everybody was stuck on, you know, the comment section was eating me up. And I said, women are sexually deprived. I said, women can get sex so fast. Like, just because it's awful, does not mean that you want it. Back home, I know 10 places to get some very, very good contraband. And not the kind that comes out the ground. That does not mean that I what they're all. I'm like, and that's the hypocrisy. That if that's the word, the hypocrisy behind it. Because, you know, people say things one breath, you know, like you can get time you want, but also if you actually act on the second you get time. So it's like, which one is it? Like, what do you want? What do you want me to understand that it's that? But also when it's that easy, it's a problem. You can never please people. You know what I mean? So it's just like I don't know, but that is literally why. Another thing I noticed, they don't all have hips with their stroke. I don't know if that lack of experience.
They don't do what? What'd you say they don't do?
Don't have any hip rhythm. Like, know that's the difference between hitting walls and hitting someone's G spot. Your hips play a lot in what you do. Your hips, it's not just your back. Like, yes, you put your back into it, but you don't actually put your back into your hips. Use your hips. Like, and I've had to actually tell guys that. And it's like I'm literally laying there and it's like what are you doing? It's like it looks like you're just going like this. Move yourself. Like, have you ever seen a sex scene? You see how they be moving as one? This is a unit. This is a partnership. Move with me. like what's going on? You know? So it's like I don't know. Sometimes I be thinking I'm too picky, but then it's like no, because I've had really great sex. So it's like I'm not picky. I just know that this is not.
No, I understand. Do you think that people should communicate these things before they even have sex, or Like, does that conversation need to happen before y'all have sex?
You know,
Because I
some
feel like the conversation needs to happen. Because I've had to learn the hard way that every woman is different. We can have one woman just falling off on her knees and about to go crazy. We'll have another woman just laying there all bored and shit.
yeah, yep. And I feel like communication does go a long way. Um, I know that it's like that can take out the hype of it all or the excitement of it all because it feels planned. But it does help when a person knows what they're going into because they'll already know, okay, you don't like this. Because you don't want somebody to be at home thinking they about to give you the best sex you've ever had. And it's like they started off with something you didn't like. That's not their fault. They don't know you. They don't know your body. Like this is an intimate moment. You should probably have a discussion, which is why traditionally you should get to know your partners before you have sex to avoid certain pitfalls. But nothing's done traditional anymore except missionary.
Yeah, it's like I feel like a lot of people they just have the conversation after they done had sex. So
Right.
it's
It
like
gets boring, like, yeah, like that was cool. But also it's like could have been better if you just would have had a conversation about it.
yeah,
But
but how the hell do you initiate that conversation? Because that shit is weird. That shit is awkward because it's like for us, we can't initiate that conversation because it's a damn turnoff to y'all. Y'all would be like, oh, all he want is damn sex. So
yeah.
when the hell is the right time to initiate that conversation?
You know what? That's always been funny to me because it's just I feel like, you never want to depending I don't want to say never because, there's some people where it's like regardless if you go on a date with them that night, they might have sex with you that night and then y'all might get married and actually grow old together. So can't say that first time links do have happy endings sometimes. But I would say if you're not sure when to start those type of conversations with the person that you're interested in, why don't you wait till about week 2 or 3, depending on that person. Also, depending on how much time you spent with that person. If you haven't seen that person since you exchanged numbers, or you haven't seen them at all, you guys exchange numbers online, and some of the first conversations you're having is about sex, yeah, that can be a turn off. Especially if you said that you're here for something different. That can be a turn off because sex is natural and it will come. If it's meant to come to you, it will come to you. But I just feel like, give it a few dates, give it a couple weeks, and then, if you haven't already, start to slide it in there. Now, see me, I'm still a little young, and I'm like real fun with my shit. So it's just like after me, if I'm looking to sleep with you, if that's what I know my end game is, I'm gonna make it my business to try to see you at least 4 to 5 days after meeting you and getting your number. You get what I mean? So it's like once faster we get the ball moving on hanging out and seeing if I actually like you, faster we can get moving on having sex. So it's like, yeah, like you wanna link up, you wanna go out, you wanna do this. So I'm real hands on with mine because I'm not just gonna sit around all day. So
We need more women like you. Yeah, we need more women out here like you.
yeah, and it's like, some women they feel like that makes them look a certain type of way, and it's like I don't see that. But being younger, I'm not gonna lie, I always knew getting older, it's like there's just certain things to womanhood that are secretive. You're just gonna have to take certain things to the grave. Like, I'm 27, I'll be 28 in January, and there's still guys my age and even a little older. Like I've dated guys as old as 44, like as old as 44. So it's just like, like there's still guys of all age groups that are still doing the pseudo mind game on women. That's not womanly, or you can't do that, but I
You
can.
know what?
Yeah,
Listen, those men aren't mature because I'm 31, I'll be 32 in December. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Look, just be happy. Do what makes you happy. I don't give a damn if it's womanly or manly. Look, I don't give a damn. If
right.
we vibing and we hanging out, who gives a fuck? And one time for you being born in January because I got a mom and sister who are both born in January. So
See, you feel me? Aquarius.
one is an Aquarius, the other is a Capricorn.
I'm
So
an Aquarius. My brother's a Capricorn. He born on the 3rd, and my birthday the 24th. So
oh damn, you a day after my mama.
see, you feel me? Like I'm out here. But no, it's just it's always funny to me, and I notice like men do hate sexually confident women. It's some men get a real kick out of humbling women, and I'm not sure what that's about, but they do, because It's just like that.
Those men probably just immature and they need to grow up because I'm like, look, because my ass, I'm just happy we had sex, goddamn it. I'm looking to build upon that, you know.
Yeah, like it's real tough out there, but I feel like once people understand that sex is a sport that adults partake in, it would make the sex game a little easier to navigate through. I really do think that, because what else can you do? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know. It's like they want you to wait. They don't want you to wait. They want you to know how to do stuff, but also if you do stuff too well, it's a problem. Like I have cousins like that. Actually, they're like, I've cut somebody off because she did this too well. I'm like, so you enjoyed what she gave you? I'm like, and that was the problem. He like, yeah, because she must have learned it somewhere. I'm like, yeah, she learned it somewhere. She did.
I'm like, okay, that's a little immature. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, it's okay. You like shit. You learned it.
Yeah,
Like,
just and it's just it's funny. I really do love having these conversations with people because it gives me an opportunity to laugh. Like, that's number one.
all right. I know you don't talk to your homegirls and talk to women in general. So what have you heard from the ladies that you're like, girl, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my god. Okay, so it was it was this one girl, and she said, she was like, I wouldn't mind putting a strap in my man's ass. So I said, you know what? I said, that's not bad. I'm like, I did do it once. I was like, it was just somebody that I knew. We weren't seeing each other or anything, but we have flirted throughout the years. It just never went anywhere. And I pegged him. I was like, I'm like, it fed the shit out of my control kink. So, try it. But see, her reason for wanting to do it, because she's crazy. She says, yes, that way, like if he tries to leave me, it could be like, hey, where you going? I'm the one that had dicks in your ass. And it's like, you can't do that. What's wrong?
Oh, hell no. So she did it for blackmail purposes.
Yes. You cannot do that. Like, and I had to explain. I said, did you hear that? Like, did you hear what you just said? You're contemplating on a situation that hasn't even occurred yet for a sex act that you have not performed yet, just off the strength that you may possibly be able to blackmail somebody someday later in the future. Now, if you don't think that that's crazy, I'm here to tell you that it's batshit, actually.
That is crazy.
Like, I was like, how you gonna say that? I was like, what? I said, that's exactly why niggas don't experiment. I said, it's you. I said, you the black women they hiding from. I said, it's you. It's you, because ain't no way. Like, ain't no way. Like, like the guy that I had that moment with or whatever, we still speak sometimes. Like, it's not like that, but it's like we do have each other on social media. So we do exchange words, but it's just like he's still the same person he was beforehand. I just know what happened, and I'm that nigga behind it. Like, that's all. but I would never.
Listen, I'm open-minded, but I ain't about to try that shit because I've heard some women thinking like they might be thinking you on the down low. They start spreading rumors.
And then they'll start spreading rumors, and that's what I knew. I said, nah. I said, this is why guys won't experiment, because it's people like you. I said, it's people like you, and that's why I did it, because it was a moment to experiment. Like, I've never done it, but also I'm probably never gonna get a chance to do it. I may as well take this opportunity, and so I did. And I regret nothing. It was fun. It was fun. I learned a lot about myself that day. And I just feel like, like, yeah, damn it, like, you gotta get out there. Like, sex is universal. Go get you some. Like, go have some sex.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, but it's like, I'll keep the open mind. Hey, motherfucker, y'all, anybody hearing this podcast, come change my mind. Come to Florida and change my mind, damn it.
Change my mind.
But ladies and gentlemen, this has been Liquor Talk with the lovely guest, Sierra Coco over here. All right, what's your future plans for 2022 and going forward with the podcast?
Well, for the podcast, it does seem like the Wet Lounge is probably going to be wrapping up with the Wet Lounge here at season 2. I'll probably release some statements and some videos about that later. But right now I am in the process of revamping, and I'm coming back with a new name. I actually have not told this name to anybody yet, so I'm going to drop it here. The name of the podcast will be called Pinky Swears Podcast. I'm Pinky. That is my family nickname, and I've had it since, the day I left the hospital. So I'm Pinky, but I will still go as Sierra Coco, and I just got a whole lot of stuff coming. You know, like it's been a choppy year in podcasting for me. But I appreciate everybody that has reached out for me to work with them or the Wet Lounge to work with them. And next season, I have an extensive guest list. I have virtual as well as in-person shows, and I do have my anonymous line that I do plan to critique to make it better for the people that are doing submission. So it's a lot. It's a lot coming for 2022 and 2023. And I just can't wait to get it all out there for y'all.
Listen, I hope I'm on your guest list, you know what I'm saying? Because you remember, I might be in Florida, but I'm just a DM away. So I'm ready to make it happen whenever you need me. Just let me know. I
But
hope I'm on that guest list. If
you
you're trying to do this in person, I
were
will be in Philadelphia in the third weekend. And like I said, Philly's close to DC. So
yeah, it is actually.
So, lastly, why do people need to tap in with your new podcast and with the? I know we. I know it was. I wanted to say the normally I say why do people tap in with the Wet Lounge, but since that's going away, why do people need to tap in with the new podcast, the Pinky Swears podcast?
Yes, yes. In the meantime, you can keep following the Wet Lounge page because I will be using that page and just converting over. So you can follow me at underscore the Wet Lounge underscore. That is the Wet Lounge pod page. Just if you'd like to get a feel of what we've been doing. We did have fun. You feel me? We had fun. I learned what it takes. I started to learn what it takes to do this podcasting thing. I got some listeners. I got cool podcasting family out of it. So, you know, like follow us there. Follow our Twitter at the Wet Lounge underscore. Follow me at Sierra Coco. And, you know, just keep up with me. Get at me. I'm always down to network or just chop it up. So, you know, that's me. Just going to keep moving forward.
All right, give the people a good reason though. You got to give people a good reason why they need to tap in and network.
Okay, so boom, tap in the network with me because I am the spice in your life that you did not know you needed, baby. Do you feel me? Get at me. I am your not so regular, degular shorty from the South Bronx. So get at me if you want some spice in your life. You want somebody to come on and talk openly. If you want someone who is going to be her natural, unfiltered self, I'm your girl. I'm literally the girl for everything. You need a church friend, you need a brunch friend, you need a podcast guest or interviewee. I'm the girl to do it. You feel me? So just get at me. If you're here for the explicitness, if you're here for the raw, the unfiltered, if you'd like to learn something, if you'd like to evolve in yourself, we gonna get into all that at Pinky Swears Podcast, and all your secrets is safe for me. That's on the Pinky Swear.
That's real. I want to thank you for coming on Liquor Talk and thank you for blessing the Liquor Talk with your presence. I appreciate you for revealing the new Pinky Swears podcast. I definitely appreciate it. I look forward to returning the favor for you. And if ever you want to come back on, you just let me know. We'll definitely set it up.
Of course, of course. Thank you for having me. I'm glad that we was able to get this done.
Yes, and thank you to listener. Thank you for listening to Liquor Talk. Shout out to everybody in Florida that done survived the storms. We gotta get Florida back. Beautiful. It'll be coming soon. Thank you for everybody. Remember to subscribe and tell a friend to subscribe as well. Whether you listen on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts at. And also shout out to my listeners on 97.3 Sunshine Jams. You can hear me there too. And also check out the video on YouTube. Once again, I want to thank everybody. And remember, yours truly will be in Virginia. Not Virginia, but Philadelphia coming real soon. Until the next time, we out this motherfucker. Deuces, y'all deuces.
Bye.